Hi everyone. I decided to prepare a video to walk you through the instructions in doc sharing for case 1. We're in week 6 and this is where you start to shift gears and begin working full force on your senior projects. So you've been assigned to a case, and that same case is what you will work on individually for case 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the short exercises that you've done to date prepare you for this exercise, or I shouldn't use the term exercise, it's a case because of how we use exercises in this class, so excuse me for that. But case 1 is basically a situation assessment for your organization. So there are the following sections that it contains. It contains a mission and vision evaluation, much like the work that you did for short exercise 1. A listing and discussion of company milestones. Third is an external assessment, or an EFE matrix, along with a narrative discussion interpreting your rationale for creating that matrix. An internal assessment, which is an IFE matrix, where you discuss the strengths and weaknesses. And then finally a SWOT analysis. So those are the sections that go into case number 1. Now before I go into these in detail, I just want to call your attention in doc sharing to a document there that is the senior project grading matrix, which is used for it contains all the sections in your senior project, cases 1 through 4, but there are certain sections in case 1 that are also included in this grading matrix. So if you want to have a sense of how I'm going to be grading your work, you can refer to this document. So for instance, if we look at the mission statement, it's a description of content of what goes into that. It says, quote, the company's mission statement and cite it. You know, make sure that if the company doesn't have a mission statement and you've had to write one, indicate that you've written one for it. But if it does have a mission statement, make sure that you're giving credit to your sources, so cite it. And then analyze it according to running it through the mission statement evaluation matrix. So above average work fits this criteria. It runs the mission through the evaluation matrix in chapter 2 and takes the criteria together to assess the effectiveness of the mission statement. If there are more no's than yeses, the mission statement is then rewritten. The analysis reflects an understanding of the firm's key issues. And then it goes into the criteria for average and below average. Milestones, that's another section in case number 1, and that the grading criteria are indicated there as well. And you'll see, let's see, I've got to rotate this document here. Where is that? Well, actually, I'm not going to, here we go, rotate pages, because it's in PDF form, so afraid I have to document it. The IFE and EFE analysis is also in case 1. So again, you go through, here's a description of the content, and then here's the criteria that I use to grade it. So I just wanted to remind you that that document is available to you on the grading rubric that's in doc sharing, in addition to the instructions for case 1. So as I mentioned before, we have these sections here, and I'm going to go through them now. So for the mission and vision evaluation, you want to again search to see if the company has these statements, and if it doesn't, or if they are poorly written or crafted, then you would write one yourself. But if it does have one, go ahead, put it through the evaluation matrix, and explain your justification of all the components in that matrix. And just as you did in short exercise 1. Then we go on to milestones, and in this you want to begin with a concise in narrative form, sort of a company profile. This is a brief section, but you want to, sort of say this is the company, this is its story, and then it's fine in bullet points to list about 5 to 10 milestones that um, help to define the company, to tell its story, so to speak. So um, you're trying to tell a story of what makes this company unique. And so after you've gone through listing the milestones, pull it together, synthesize it for its uniqueness and identity. So, for example, if a company has a fun, employee-centered culture, or if it has a low-cost, no-frills strategy that uniquely identifies Southwest Airlines, you'd want to talk about that here in this milestone section. Then the next section of the paper is the external assessment, and this is where you go through the motions that you went through in short exercise 2. You create your EFE matrix and provide a narrative that explains your rationale of the factors, the weights, the ratings, and the total weighted score that went into the EFE matrix. The next section is your IFE matrix, or your internal assessment. And again, you go through the same steps that you did in the previous section, except it's for an IFE matrix, much like you did in short exercise number 4. And also I should mention here that each of these sections, they include section headings in the paper. It is a paper that is coming together as a formal paper in APA format, so make sure that you do all the good things that make up good writing, such as introduce each section, do a short transition into the section that's going to follow it, and introduce the next section, and so forth. The final section of this paper is a SWOT analysis, and this can sometimes confuse people because you aren't doing a SWOT matrix, which is a matching technique that we learned about in chapter 6. Rather, you're just consider this a concluding section to your EFE and IFE matrices. You're just basically saying, taken together, here are the key strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You're kind of summing it all together and concluding your analysis here in the SWOT analysis section of case 1. I have a note here of an appendix. I'm not saying that you need to prepare an appendix for your paper at this point, but I just want to remind you, in the bibliography, there's that Money Central website where you can go and look up financial ratios, and there's also that Investopedia website that can help you. It provides reminders of how to interpret those ratios. But you may want to consider those ratios in your IFE matrix when you're looking at the strengths and weaknesses. So there may be one of those indicators on the health of the company that may be relevant to the internal factor evaluation. So this concludes my overview for what goes into case 1. I wish you all the best as you complete your cases, and I look forward to reading them. Thanks.